Boys and girls, Mel Herbert here, talking Tesla. I'm wearing the shirt. First of all, we're going to start this off right. Joel Sapp, one of our listeners, sent me the Talking Tesla Black Caucus shirt. It's really quite beautiful, smooth, and I make it look good. Don't you think? Who's that?
Yeah, who am I?
That'd be Jess, friend of the show, Tesla owner. Who's that? That'd be Josh. He doesn't own a Tesla, but we're going to get back to it.
I don't own a Tesla.
Look, guys, I brought you here today because we've got a new studio, and this is not in any way a test for the real show that we're doing later for the doctors. Not at all. This is all about Talking Tesla right here. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what Elon just tweeted out, which was the comparison between Model S and Model 3. We've been talking about it a lot. Jess has a Model S.
Yes.
Josh doesn't because he hates the world and wants it to burn. I have a Model S, and so we're going to go through this comparison chart between the Model S and the Model 3, and then I'm going to ask you to find people what your next car is going to be. You ready for this? It's a bit of a game show.
Ready.
Here we go. Model S.
Okay.
First of all, now remember that they are trying to undersell the Model S right now. They're trying to reverse sell because they're worried that it's going to cannibalize Model S sales, as everybody thinks the Model 3 is way better than the Model S.
No.
Because a lot of people think this is the 5th generation of Tesla, and so it's going to be way better than the Model S. And they're trying to convince people, no, the Model 3 is not the Model S. The high-end car is the Model S. The Model 3 is a great car, but it's a much smaller, cheaper car. So here we go. First of all, in terms of performance, your Model S, if you get the fastest one, can go 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. Fast enough for you, Josh?
Is it blue? Because what I'm looking at is red and blue.
You get focused on really the important.
Sorry. Yeah, that sounds...
Go on.
No, please.
No, the Model 3 can only do it in 5.6 seconds. It's slow.
Yeah, it's not blue, it's a blur. Because it's going so fast, you can barely see it.
Funny. 5.6 is really fast. 2.3 is ridiculous.
Yes. Okay, 5.6, that's just going to be the standard Model 3, is going to go 0 to 60 in 5.6?
That is what we believe right now. The first Model 3 that comes out is going to have one motor. They're not going to start building the two-motor version, which theoretically will be much faster, just as it is in the S, for at least 9 months. So initially, you get the Model 3, one motor, 5.6 to 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds.
That is fast.
It is really good.
Really fast.
2.3 is ridiculous. Let's go on. Range. Let's talk about range. So the Model S right now, you can get a Model S with range between about 250 miles to 330 miles. It's a lot of miles. Where do you live?
Fresno.
How far away is that?
It's about 300 miles.
So you could do the whole thing on a Model S, no charge.
Yeah.
Model 3, on the other hand, Josh, only 215 miles.
But it's blue, though. That is the thing I'm trying to tell you. It's a blue car.
It's really focused on
It's a blue car. It's maybe a little slower on the acceleration, but it's blue, and it's got a smaller range.
Smaller range, 215. Now, is it going to be more than that? We don't know yet. They haven't stated. Because the Chevy Bolt, which is the other long-range EV car in the United States, has a 238-mile range, I believe, it is my theory, that the Model 3, they're going to stick a few extra cells in to make sure it goes at least as far as the Bolt. So I think this 215 might be underselling it, although I don't know. I have no insider information, although I do have a nice shirt. Let's go on. Supercharging. Okay. This is very important.
Yes.
Supercharging, free, unlimited supercharging if you get a referral. So there's a way to get your Model S right now. Somebody gives you a referral, free, unlimited supercharging for life. So this is the fast charging for a long way when you go on your long distance trips. You can charge up your car incredibly quickly. For the Model 3, you're going to have to pay to use their supercharger network, which is throughout the United States, throughout Europe, throughout Australia, throughout the world. You're going to have to pay with a Model 3. It won't be much, but it'll be something.
But we don't know for how long that's going to be. They're running this whole referral thing for who knows how long.
Yes.
I mean, that could
And this
go
has
away,
changed. So when Model S first came out, free supercharging for life was a sales thing. Then they took it away, and unless you got a car by mid-January of this year, you didn't get free supercharging for life. And then they just gave it back last week and said, look, since people love it so much, if you refer somebody to buy a Tesla and they use your special code, that person will get free supercharging for life. I'm confused whether you'll get free supercharging for life. I don't care about your free supercharging, I care about my free supercharging. Does this matter to you, long distances?
Wait, no, so presumably if you refer me, then I get, even if I get the 3, then I'm...
This was for Model S. We haven't heard about the referral program for Model 3 yet. They don't need a referral program for Model 3 as yet because they've already sold 400,000 and they can't build them fast enough. And we're going to get to that in a second. You ready?
Right.
Yeah.
Passengers. 5 passengers in the Model S. Actually, I didn't do the length. The Model S is a much bigger car than the Model 3. If we go back up the top there, it's 196 inches versus 184. It's only 5 inches less in length, or 10 inches less in length. But they don't tell us about the width. They don't tell us about some of the other dimensions. But it is a smaller car. It's basically the S shrunk more down in a little bit different format.
The passenger diagram over there, the extra people, they're small people.
Yes, because though the Model 3 takes 5 passengers, the Model S takes 5 passengers, but you can get 2 small people, we often call them children, in the back so they can do a rear-facing seat. But it's quite small, and only little people can go in there.
So they're facing out the back.
Leprechauns.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just as an option.
And the 5 passengers in an S are obviously going to have more room than 5 passengers in a Model 3. It's a smaller car. It's got to be that way.
Well, we don't know the width, though.
We don't?
So, and maybe it's not actually more room for the passengers because we have a huge trunk in the S. So if they're taking the space from there for the 3, it might be the same. That's all I'm saying.
I have so much junk in my trunk, it doesn't help. Let's talk cargo.
Let's talk
cargo. Okay, so the one thing about the Model S that a lot of people don't realize is it has a huge amount of space. Once you put the seats down, it's got all of this space because most of the junk is underneath the car with the batteries and stuff. So there's a huge amount of space in the Model S. In the Model 3, it's about half the amount of cubic area to throw your junk in your trunk, as it were. Now, I can't look at those numbers and say, what does that compare to a similarly sized BMW or anything like that, for example. But I do know the Model S is huge, and the Model 3 is going to be half huge.
It's way more storage cargo space than I have a Audi Q5 as well, and the Model S has way more storage space.
Way more.
Okay. Way more.
So remember, we're going to go through this, and then we're going to ask you which one is going to be your next car.
Okay.
In terms of displays, right now, the Model S has a display like a normal display in the dash. You can look straight there, and there's a display, and you can see your speed and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then it has the giant iPad-looking thing in the middle. The Model 3 is not going to have that. The Model 3 is only going to have a 15-inch display in the middle between where the passenger and the driver are. That's going to be the only display. That's where your speedometer is going to be. That's where your internet access is going to be. That's where everything's going to be there. But instead of looking straight to see your speedometer, you're going to have to do this difficult move. Did you catch that? Let me do it again. You're going to have to do that move. Some people are freaked out about that.
Wait, do the move for the normal car.
Did you see that?
No, do it. Okay, now look at the speedometer on the normal car.
Here I am.
On the S, and then let's do for the 3.
I think I missed it.
Oh. Wow, that's
what you're going to have to do.
But that sucks, though, when you're driving. I mean,
They should put something, instead of that screen, they should put something there that's really useful.
Like what?
I don't know, like
numbers.
Cargo space.
Give me some more cargo space.
Lots of cargo space.
All right, customization. In the S, they say you can do lots of customization, but in Model 3, only 100 things you can customize. They don't exactly tell us what this customization is, but you can have more choices. Because the S is $100,000. The Model 3 is just going to be around $35,000. Delivery timing. Here's a big one. Model S. You can get a Model S customized to your delights, 30 days. Model 3 today. If you try and get a Model 3 today, it's going to take you more than a year to get it. I'm just saying, if you haven't put your deposit in, if you want to buy it right now, you can't. It's going to take a year.
That's going to change. That's going to be, this is only true right now. That's going to totally
it's going to take them a year to catch up because they don't have the capacity to build these fast enough for another year. But in about a year from now, you'll probably be able to just order one day and get it the next month. Now, premium features, there's the HEPA filtration system that's in the Model S, which is this biodefense mode. So there can be a zombie apocalypse, and you get in your Tesla, and it filters out all of those bugs, and you're not going to get sick.
Wait, what? With the air?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a biodefense. It's like a military-grade biodefense thing. The Model S has an aluminum body, which is actually a downside to the Model S, because it turns out if you crash your Model S, they've got to go to special places, and there's been big delays, although Tesla says they're fixing that.
Is that what they say?
They say that. It's a bit of a problem because bending aluminum is quite difficult, whereas the Model 3 is going to have more steel construction, and so the bodywork should be easier to fix. Smart air suspension. Now, this is huge.
Yes.
Do you have smart air suspension?
Yes, worth it. So happy we got it. We have it.
I've had 2 Model S's. My first Model S did not have smart air suspension. The second Model S did. So, Josh, let me explain this to you.
Yes.
You got your car.
Yeah.
And if you've got a normal car, it stays the same height. It's not going anywhere. It's not going higher or lower. It's there. But with air suspension, in the S, you can jack the car up you can bring it down. If you've got a little slope into your driveway and it's too slopey, you can hit the little air suspension thing and pick the car up so it doesn't scrape on the bottom. And it's GPS enabled, so you can say, every time I drive home, just before I go into the house, jack the car up. It's so cool. And when you want to go fast on the freeway and reduce the amount of energy you're using, the smart air suspension goes whoosh. Now, I just realized this says smart air suspension, and there's no smart air suspension on the Model 3.
Right.
But maybe, possibly, there could be just air suspension. Because the smart part on the Model S...
Could there be smart suspension?
Well, there's got to be air. You can't leave out the air.
There could be smart air.
There could be smart air as well. Sometimes I think you just want to make this harder for me. In the Model S, you can have a glass roof. And I'm presuming the panoramic glass roof. Now, this is interesting because you were supposed to be able to get that on Model 3. But apparently, the initial Model 3s are not going to have it.
Wait a second. So, panoramic sunroof,
They're
right?
both. They've got the glass
about...
roof and the panoramic sunroof. So they're not giving you that as an option.
Neither.
At the beginning. Now, again, all this I presume is at the beginning. So this is a big giant glass roof or a sort of broken up glass roof, which some people really like. It opens it up. You cannot get that on the first Model 3s. That's upsetting to a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's upsetting to Josh.
They were all going to have that.
And then there's these 21-inch performance wheels, but again, you don't want those because they make the tires wear out and stuff anyway. So there is the difference. The Model S is bigger, faster, more range, more luxury, more ability to do lots of fun things in there. Mm-hmm. And the Model 3, just a nice, beautiful electric car that goes a long way.
Yes,
so,
but it's also $65,000 more expensive. That's
wait for it. I'm going to ask you the question. One is about $35,000. One is $100,000. So
yes, you glossed over that. That's like for
it's a small thing. What's $70,000 between?
That's the whole all this discussion of all these different.
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't I bring it up at the beginning? Excuse me. One's $100,000. The other's $35,000.
All right.
If that's important to anybody.
Continue.
But that's, one's not 100,000, the other one's 35. 35 is like the starting price, right?
Yes.
We don't know how far up you can go from there. 100 is not the starting price for an S.
No. So I'll tell you the real world number. I think that you'll probably be able to get into a Model 3 for about 40 to 45,000 with a couple of features. But the Model S is still $100,000. By the time you do anything on the configurator, it's $100,000. If you want, some of those features like longer distance and that kind of stuff, it's $100,000. So, are you ready now for the question?
Yeah.
Or are we going to, bother me some more? Jess.
I'm ready.
Your next car, Model S, Model 3, or gas-guzzling, planet-destroying piece of crap. Go.
I had a feeling you were going to ask me that. Mm-hmm. My next car will be a Tesla.
Thank you. Why?
Because lots of reasons, including saving the planet and...
Teslas are awesome.
Many other reasons. Okay.
So next one's going to be, but what car?
It's going to be a Tesla, but I don't know that my next car is going to... Well, actually, it probably will be one of these. I really want a Y.
Yes. Y? Now, for those that don't know, the Y is the model of Tesla that comes next, which is sort of the small SUV version. We've got an X, which is a big SUV version. The Y is going to be sort of a smaller SUV version. That's my next car as well. I want that form factor in a smaller, cheaper car.
Yeah, so I want a Y or an X maybe, but that's not going to happen. That's not feasible in the time frame in which we're going to get another car. Because my lease is going to be up in 2 years. So 2 years, I'm getting a car. This is happening.
The Y might be around in 2 years. Possibly.
I don't know. Maybe.
If it is in 2 years, probably the Y.
Right. And
not
if not,
the
then I'm going to get either an S or a 3. And I would view it as a car that's going to bridge me to the Y. So I might just get a pre-owned Model S that I can plug into my charger at home.
Yes.
It won't have all the fancy autopilot and everything,
yes,
but it will save the environment. It'll be a good car.
Yes.
And then probably a year after that, I'll be able to get a Y. So I don't know. I wouldn't be able to justify buying another new Model S. And I don't know that I need a brand new Model 3, but it's not really a need thing. Maybe it's a want thing.
That was a really long answer.
Yeah, it's a long answer, and my calculation is going to be significantly
make it simple,
less complicated. I don't want to spend $100,000 on a car. So I like all that stuff that you mentioned sounds awesome, but like I'm not going to spend $100,000 on a car.
It's very simple.
So I mean, a pre-owned Model S might be cool. I mean, I like Teslas.
Why don't you have one? What is going on? Why do you hate the Earth? Here you are. You're playing the role of average person. Average person. Why don't you have a Model 3, at least a reservation?
Why don't I have a Model 3?
Reservation.
I was doing it right now.
Not a good answer. Okay, Josh brings up the fact that for some people, this is not even a discussion. This is $65,000 difference.
No, it's interesting.
It's not a discussion.
The features are interesting. I just and they're all cool, but again, yeah.
I would get either a new Model 3 or a pre-owned Model S. And I'm not sure which one of the two. I mean...
Well, let me ask you this question. So the Model 3 and the Model S are going to have all of these autonomous features. They have them out of the gate. So initially, they just help you drive down the freeway and can't do too much. Elon has said in about 2 years, they should be fully autonomous and drive themselves. A new Model 3 will do that.
Yes.
A newish Model S will do that. Would you get a Model S that's older but cheaper but can't do all the self-driving? How important is self-driving technology to you?
Very, 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 very important.
So you're not getting too old a Model S?
No, it's really important because I work a really odd schedule. You know, I work these late shifts. I'm driving back in the middle of the night, and there's something really comforting about knowing that my car is going to help safely get me home, even if I'm tired. You know, it's very comforting to know that. That's worth a lot to me.
What's it
My
worth to you?
life is worth a lot to me.
No, I just mean because when you see the videos of people who are like, "I'm driving," and then they have like their hands or like hovering around the wheel. It just seems even more stressful than just driving.
It's learning.
It's
like a child.
It's getting smarter and smarter.
Yes,
it's getting
better. I know,
better.
but I'm sitting in the child. I don't want to die because the child is learning that's a truck.
I'll tell you where it is most useful. I find it most useful in traffic in Los Angeles. You're going stop and go 5 miles an hour. You just turn on the self-driving thing and let the child drive. It's fine.
Let the child drive.
It's absolutely fine. At 70 miles an hour down the freeway, it's a bit more scary, but it's so great in traffic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been very, very long. I'd hoped this would be 5 minutes. But I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
It's my fault.
No, it's not. Mason? It's not. Mel talked longer than 5 minutes.
Yes.
That's...
Josh Kurz.
I don't even want to say his name. Thank you for listening. Out.